All right, good evening, Rabbi Yitzchak. Welcome to another edition of our Wednesday night class. B'ezrat Hashem, today we have a special class. This class was anonymously sponsored. And for those who participated in helping this class make, they should receive a lot of bracha, parnasa tova, shalom bayit, eladim tzedikim ve'orach yamim, happiness, health, success, sida geula shlema, do teshuvah shlema, v'chen yeh ratzon v'nomar, amen. Amen. We are on record, so we ask those who are with us live to please limit the sound. And we are here recorded via Zoom, and to make it fair for those who are at home watching, we also ask you to limit the sound. Thank you so much. All right. So just like it was advertised, tonight we have what's called the Tisha B'Av event. It's not Tisha B'Av, Tu BShvat. Why did I say Tisha B'Av? Because the Mekubalim tell us that they're very connected. Tisha B'Av and Tu BShvat are very connected. What's the connection? We will see soon. The rabbis tell us that Tu BShvat is the Rosh Hashana of the trees. Rosh Hashana of the trees. And the Gemara and the Torah and Chazal, they compare a man to a tree. What does it say? Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh. A man is linked to a tree. Compared to a tree. What's the comparison? The rabbis tell us that on this night, Chassidish rabbis tell us that on this night, we fix the primary sin. The crime that was committed many years ago. What was the crime? The Jewish people, late at night one day, were sitting together in the desert, and they were speaking Lashon Hara about Israel's big, ginormous fruits. When the spies went in to spy into Israel, they came back with a bad report. And what did they say? What was one of the things that they said bad about Israel?
That the fruits were really big.
The fruits were oversized. They were huge. And they said, if the fruits are so big, could you imagine the people eating the fruits? They must be even bigger. And that was their problem. That was their chet. That was their crime. That was their pesha. And the rabbis come and tell us, in order to do tikkun, a rectification for this, comes Tu BShvat. You sit together with your family and you make a table, or with your students and your rabbi. You make a table, and the whole holiday of Tu BShvat is what? You're making blessings on what? On fruits. It's the exact tikkun that which the Jewish people did when they spoke bad about Israel's fruits. And the rabbis tell us, which specific fruits should you have on your table on Tu BShvat? Specifically the fruits that are blessed by Israel. So tonight is a big night. Tonight is the night that we can rectify and we can bring the coming of Mashiach. Why the coming of Mashiach? Because our rabbis tell us, because of the sin of the spies and the Lashon Hara that they spoke about Israel and spoke bad about their fruits, because of that, on that day, Hashem brought Tisha B'Av, the destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. And tonight, we eat fruits, we do the opposite, that which the Jews did. We bless the fruits, we thank Hashem for the fruits, we enjoy it. Hashem says it's a big tikkun. You can rectify what they did many years ago. You can turn the pesha to shefa. What does pesha mean in Hebrew? Crime, mistake, a sin. Now if you take the letters of pesha and you scramble them around, you get the word shefa. What does shefa mean? Abundance. Abundance. Now the rabbis tell us, take the Rashi Tevot, the beginning letters of the name of the word shefa. What do you get? Shin stands for Shoresh. What does Shorish mean? The root. The Pei stands for Peri. And the Aleph stands for Anafim, Shefa. Roots, fruit, branches. This is the holiday of the fruits, of the roots, and the branches. So this holiday, we can bring a lot of Shefa to our lives, to our family's life, to us individually, to us as a nation. It's a very big night. And the Arizal says, this night we're busy with doing what? Making brachot. Why? Why? Every holiday has its own significance. Pesach has the matzah, Sukkot has the lulav and etrog, Hanukkah has the menorah, Tu BShvat has brachot. Why is it so big on brachot? Do you know what happens when you make a bracha? You attach yourself to Hashem. You bring Hashem closer to you. How do I know? Take the first 3 letters of the word Baruch Atah Hashem. Baruch starts with a Bet. Atah starts with a Aleph. Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, starts with a Yud. Bet, Aleph, Yud. What does it stand for in Hebrew? Boy. Bo'i kala, bo'i kala. What does bo'i mean? Come. Hashem is saying, when you make brachot, you're telling me to come to you. You're telling me to come to your life. And it's the holiday when you make many brachot on the fruits and the vegetables. The specific fruits that are from Israel. The main fruits. And you're telling me to come into your life. And I'm coming into your life. The Rabbi Meruzhin tells us, Tu BShvat, Hashem judges us. It's another Rosh Hashana for us. Why? Because it's a holiday of Rosh Hashana of trees. And we said, we are the Jewish people, are compared to a Pri Etz Hador, a tree. So it's also a Rosh Hashana for us. And what type of Rosh Hashana is it? Hashem is going to judge whether this year we're going to be fruitful with our parnasa, with our bracha, with our success in school, with our marriages, with our children, with our husbands, with our wives, to each his own. Are we going to be fruitful this year with our Torah knowledge or not? It's all judged today. And the rabbi gives us another beautiful hint how today is like Rosh Hashanah for us. How? What do we do on Rosh Hashanah significantly? We blow the shofar. What sound does the shofar make? Tu. What's the holiday? This holiday is called Tu BShvat. The Rebbe says, do you hear the Tu? Do you hear the Rosh Hashanah of Tu BShvat? Because this is the second Rosh Hashanah. Not just for the trees, for the Jewish people as well. And I want to tell you, I was speaking to my rabbi, Rabbi Eli Geller, and he told me a piece of Torah on Tu BShvat. I would like to mention it to you in his name. He said, we are connected to a tree like we mentioned before. And what does a tree do? It produces fruits. It gives over fruits. Now when you go to the grocery store and you pick out fruits and vegetables, what type of fruits do you pick out? You try to pick out the fruits that have the best color, are more whole, are less soggy, are not so soft. Right? You want to pick the best fruits. You want to eat the best fruits. You want to consume the best type of fruits. So my rabbi said something very nice. He said, just like a Jew is compared to fruits, to a tree. And a Jew produces fruits. What's a Jew's fruits? His mitzvot. His Torah learning. And just like you don't want to eat a fruit that's soggy, that's half good, that's has half its color. You want to eat a whole fruit, a fresh fruit, a juicy fruit. So too, your avodah, your job on Tu BShvat is to start to think of how are you producing mitzvot? How are you doing mitzvot? How are you performing mitzvot? Are they full? Are they juicy? Do they have full color? Or are they soggy? Or they have full half color? Or they're not so strong? They're not so whole? How is our Torah and mitzvot? That's the lesson of what? Of Tu BShvat. And Tu BShvat, for those who were looking for a zivug, to get married, Tu BShvat is a holiday to pray for your zivug, Tu BShvat is a holiday to pray for your children because it's the perot, it's the fruits that we produce. Tu BShvat, B'ezrat Hashem, we're going to have a whole seder after with all the boys over here. And we're going to see how every vegetable, every fruit, everything that we're going to eat tonight is so connected, so many Kabbalistic significance, so many deep things we're going to tap into. And just for those who are on Zoom, when they get home and they do their seder, every vegetable you eat, every nut that you eat, cashew, peanuts, whatever it is that you have, whatever that has a shell, the rabbis tell us, you take the shell before you break the shell to eat the vegetable or the fruit, or whatever it is that you have in your mind when you take out the shell that you're taking out any bad character trait that you have. It should be abolished. It should be broken, just like you break the shell and you eat the main part. So too, all the good character traits that you possess in your personal life should overpower the negative character traits that you have. It's the most belittled holiday because guess what? There's not much written about it. There's not much. It's one Mishnah on Rosh Hashana. One Mishnah. No, not even a Gemara. One Mishnah. Couple of halachot, and that's it. Then you have, the Mikubalim, the Hasidish rabbis, the Rizal, they talk a little bit about it, but there's not so much written about it. But it's such a powerful holiday. It's a second Rosh Hashanah. Second. And I read something nice that I'm going to share with the boys after the camera's off, after when we have our seder. How do you know whether you had a good Rosh Hashanah or not? You know how you know? You have really two types of teshuvas. You have one teshuvah that's out of fear, and one teshuvah out of love. The teshuvah out of fear is Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. Right? You're doing teshuvah out of fear. You're scared. What's going to happen? The teshuvah out of love is when? Sukkot. Because it's a very happy holiday, right? You're enjoying, you're singing, everything is good. There's no tachanun, there's no fear, it's all love. The rabbis tell us, after Rosh Hashanah, until Rosh Shvat, which was 15 days ago, from Rosh Hashanah to Rosh Shvat, right, which is a couple of days ago, those 4 months, look back, those 4 months that you had, they were designed from Rosh Hashanah. Whatever Hashem wrote on Rosh Hashanah was how you performed your Rosh Hashanah, your Yom Kippur, was designated for you for these 4 months. Bad or good, I don't know. You'll be the judge for your own life. That was designated from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. Now let's say these months weren't so good. You want potentially to be better. So there's good news. On Sukkot, you also did teshuvah. You didn't realize it, but you did it out of love. You came close to Hashem with love. You shook the lulav and etrog. You sat in the sukkah. You were happy. You came to shul, right? You served Hashem with love. That's also a form of teshuvah, which is a higher level. And Hashem also writes something down on Sukkot. When are those fruits produced? Tu BShvat. From today on is really when the Rosh Hashanah starts. As you really see the fruits of what you did Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, you'll see from today on. All the blessing comes from today and on. It's a big holiday, Rabbi Yitzchak. It's a big, big holiday. I see a lot of people joining in the Zoom, and if you missed the first 14 minutes, I highly advise you to look back at the recording when we send it in our group chat, to listen to the introduction on Tu BShvat, the first 14 minutes that we said, for those who are just joining us via Zoom.
So what's decided today? What's decided Rosh Hashana?
What?
What's decided today? What's decided Rosh Hashana?
Today, so like we mentioned, the Arizal says that today is the second Rosh Hashana.
For us?
For everybody. For the trees. But we're compared to the tree, right? The Torah says, Ki ha'adam etz hasadeh. What does that mean? A man is like a tree. So the rabbis tell us that just like a trees get judged, we also get judged. We get a different type of judgment. We're doing right now teshuvah out of love, out of happiness. We're not in fear, like Rosh Hashanah, right? You were scared, what's going to happen? You're doing teshuvah out of love. So it's a second Rosh Hashanah for you, but different type of Rosh Hashanah. How fruitful are you going to be this year? Are you going to get married this year? Are you going to have children this year? Are you going to produce Torah? It's also, today is decided your chidushim of Torah, that you come up with on your own.
No, okay.
is decided today. Now, don't say you know
For
one.
the rabbis.
It's all decided today. A lot is decided today. A lot. And Bezat Hashem, we should keep this holiday properly. We should be very happy, but we should also do teshuvah this holiday. Why? Because the first man, Adam HaRishon, he sinned, and he caused damage to all the fruits in the world. The fruits that you eat today, they would have been better if Adam never ate from the tree. It would have been better. They would have looked better. They would have been bigger, like the Jews saw in Israel. But because Adam sinned, he caused a klipa, a shell on the ground, which affects the trees and whatever else that grows, the fruits and the vegetables.
So that's why you should break the shell?
One reason why you should break the shell, and another reason is you take the pit out from the fruits, right? Those fruits that have pits. So this holiday you can rectify what Adam did 5,781 years ago. You can rectify today. You can do the tikkun of Adam HaRishon on Tu BShvat. It's a big holiday. Don't take it lightly. Sit with your family, make all the blessings on the fruits. As much as fruits as possible, you should eat. Try to have the Shiva Minim